Okay, this is more about factoring. 5.5. If we were to multiply this out right here, we would have a cubed plus a squared b plus ab squared, oops, the other way now, minus a squared b minus ab squared minus b cubed. So we're going to get a cubed minus b cubed. Everything else cancels. Okay, well, if we did the same thing with the other one, we'd have a cubed minus a squared b plus ab squared plus a squared b minus ab squared, and then plus b cubed. Notice everything cancels except a cubed plus b cubed. Well, let's clean this mess up. And the first one gave us, oh dear. Okay, let's try that again. The first one gave us a cubed minus b cubed. And the second, a cubed plus b cubed. Turn them around and we have formulas for factoring. A cubed minus b cubed is a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. And a cubed plus b cubed is a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. Notice to the right of the equals, there's only one minus in either formula. It's either in the middle of the first factor or in the middle of the second. And notice everything else is the same. We have an a b, an a squared, an ab, and a b squared. No coefficients other than 1. Anyway, let's use those formulas. We will use, well, you got to remember your cubes. Let's get them down first. 1, 8, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343, that's 7 cubed. Skip a few, 1,000. Well, anyway, y cubed minus 8 is y cubed minus 2 cubed. So we will use the first formula, which is that one, and we'll let a equal y and b equal 2. So if you plug those values in there, you'll get y minus 2 times y squared plus 2y plus 4. In number 2, we have x cubed plus 3 cubed. So we will let a equal x and b equal 3 in the second formula. And plugging in, we'll get, whoops, not an a. We'll get x plus 3 times x squared minus 3x plus 9. Let's scroll this thing down. In number 3, this is x. Oh, this thing likes to play games. Okay. This is x cubed plus 5 cubed. So this will go x plus 5 times x squared minus 5x plus 25. In number 4, we have 10x cubed plus 1 cubed. So this will go 10x plus 1 times 10x quantity squared is 100x squared. And then we'll have minus 10x plus 1 squared, which is 1. In number 5, this is the same thing as y cubed plus 4x quantity cubed. So this will go y plus 4x times y squared minus 4xy plus 4x quantity squared is 16x squared. In number 6, this is the same thing as 2y quantity cubed plus x cubed. So we'll have 2y plus x times 2y quantity squared, which is 4y squared, minus 2xy plus x squared. You can always check these by multiplying them out. In number 7, we have x cubed minus 3y quantity cubed. So this will go x minus 3y times x squared plus 3xy plus 3y quantity squared, which is 9y squared. In number 8, this is x cubed minus 10 cubed. So we get x minus 10 times x squared plus 10x plus 10 squared, which is 100. In number 9, rewrite it so it's 27y cubed minus 8x cubed, which is 3y quantity cubed minus 2x quantity cubed. So this will be 3y minus 2x quantity times 3y quantity squared, which is 9y squared, plus 6xy plus 2x quantity squared, which is 4x squared. In number 10, we have 3x quantity cubed plus 10y quantity cubed. So this will go quantity 3x plus 10y times 3x quantity squared, which is 9x squared, minus 30xy plus 10y quantity squared, which is 100y squared. Now for something different. If you multiply these out, you get x squared plus 5x plus 6, and x squared plus 7x plus 6, and x squared plus 5x plus 4. Observations. You notice if you add these numbers, you get the middle coefficient. If you multiply these numbers, you get that. And you notice it happened again down here. If you add these numbers, you get 7. If you multiply them, you get 6. That works as long as the leading coefficient is 1. You got to have that. Okay, so let's play that game down here. In number 11, we start like this. And we're looking for two numbers that add up to 8 and multiply to 15. So that would be plus 5 and plus 3. If you have any doubts, multiply it out. In number 12, we're looking for two numbers that add up to negative 8 and multiply to 15. That'd be minus 5, minus 3. They add up to negative 8 and multiply to 15. In number 13, we're looking for two numbers that add up to negative 3 and multiply to negative 10. That'd be minus 5 plus 2. In number 14, we're looking for two numbers that add up to 14 and multiply to 45. That's plus 5 plus 9. In 15, we're looking for two numbers that add up to 5 and multiply to negative 14. So that would be plus 7 minus 2. 16 needs to be rewritten in descending order. We're looking for two numbers then that add up to negative 10 and multiply to 21. That'd be minus 7 minus 3. In number 17, we'd have y minus 2y plus 1. In 18, we'd have y plus 16 times y plus 2. In 19, b plus 4 times b plus 5. In number 20, we'd have a minus 5 times a minus 5. Notice that is a trinomial square. So what we learned about trinomial squares would work for this one. In number 21, start it like this. Remember, we're looking for two numbers that add up to 3 and multiply to negative 40. So that would be plus 8 and minus 5. 22, we're looking for two numbers that add up to 5 and multiply to 4. So that would be plus 4 plus 1. In number 23, you can factor out a 6 first. And then you can finish factoring. In number 24, you can take out a 5. And likewise, you can finish factoring. In number 25, you can take out a 9. And then you can finish factoring. And then in number 26, take out a 10a. And then you can finish factoring. That's a trinomial square there in x squared plus 2x plus 1. So you could do it that way, or you could do it the new way. Okay, next kind. What happens when your leading coefficient isn't 1? Okay, well, if you multiplied this guy out, you'd have 6x squared plus 10x plus 3x plus 5, which equals 6x squared plus 13x plus 5. Some observations. You notice if you multiply these two numbers, you get 30. If you multiply these two numbers, you get 30. And they also add up to 13. You notice these two numbers, this number 30 matches that number, and this number 13 matches that number. You say, whoa, deep. Well, let me show you how this is going to work. We start by multiplying these two numbers, same problem. Now we're going backwards. And I'm looking for two numbers that multiply out to 30 and add up to 13. That would be 10 and 3. Remember, that's what we found up there. Break up the middle. And then do grouping. So I can take 2x out of the first two terms. And I can take at best a 1 out of the last two terms. And then I can take a 3x plus 5 out, leaving 2x plus 1. In number 28, multiply 3 times 2, you get 6. And I'm looking for two numbers that multiply out to 6 and add up to 5. Well, 3 and 2 will do it. So break up the middle into 3x plus 2x, then do grouping. Take 3x out of the first two, take 2 out of the last two, and then take x plus 1 out. Number 29. Four times minus 3 is minus 12. Two numbers that multiply out to minus 12 and add up to 4 would be 6 and minus 2. 4x squared plus 6x minus 2x minus 3. Take a 2x out of the first two. Take a minus 1 out of the last two. Then we can take 2x plus 3 out. In number 30, 6 times minus 2 is minus 12. And I'm looking for two numbers that multiply out to minus 12 and add up to negative 1. That'd be minus 4 and 3. 6a squared minus 4ab plus 3ab minus 2b squared. Now do grouping. Take 2a out of the first two terms. That's 3a minus 2b. Take a b out of the last two terms. That'd be 3a minus 2b. And then take 3a minus 2b out. (31). 3 times 4 is 12. Two numbers that'll multiply out to 12 and add up to 8 are 6 and 2. So we have 3b squared plus 6b plus 2b plus 4. Then do grouping. Take 3b out of the first two terms. Take 2 out of the last two. Notice b plus 2 is in common. Pull it out. There you have it. Number 32. Multiply, you get minus 12. Minus 4 and 3 will multiply that and add up to negative 1. So 6y squared minus 4y plus 3y minus 2. Take a 2y out of the first two terms. Take a 1 out of the last two. And then take 3y minus 2 out. Number 33. Here we get minus 72. And the numbers that work there would be 12 and minus 6. Multiply out to negative 72 and add up to 6. So 9a squared plus 12a minus 6a minus 8. Do grouping. 3a out of the first two terms. And a minus 2 out of the last two. Take out 3a plus 4. There you go. As for, let's do a different color just for fun. This multiplies out to 24. And 12 and minus 2. No, that won't work. Minus 6 and minus 4. Yeah, that multiplies out to positive 24. Adds up to negative 10. So 3a squared minus 6a minus 4a plus 8. Take a 3a out of the first two terms. Take a minus 4 out of the last two terms. And then take a minus 2 out. There you are. That's number 34. Okay, wow, we're almost done. 35. Oh, this is the kind where, you know, its leading coefficient is 1. So we'll set it up like this. Two numbers that multiply out to negative 84 and add up to 5. Well, that would be positive 12 and minus 7. Over in number 36, 9x squared y squared plus 5xy minus 4. Multiply these, you get minus 36. Two numbers that multiply out to minus 36 and add up to 5 would be 9 and negative 4. Same numbers. And so we have 9x squared y squared plus 9xy minus 4xy minus 4. Take 9xy out of the first two terms. And minus 4 out of the last two terms. And then xy plus 1 can be taken out. There's your answer. Okay, number 37. You can take an a out. And we got the sum of two cubes. So we're going to have a times b plus 5 times b squared minus 5b plus 25. In number 38, you can take a 2 out. Well, 27z cubed is 3z quantity cubed. So this will be 2 times y minus 3z times y squared plus 3yz plus 9z squared. Nice. End of handout.